Hello. Okay, this set is part of another Glitter Planet challenge for Black Friday. We were tasked with creating something where it was black and white, or black as the main colour. So this is my take on that. I'm using my Aleana hand in, I think it's the Anais hand. I have applied the Glitter Planet flexi tips. They fit really well in here, which is the nude tip that's in the nail right now. And then I've actually applied some of my old Aleana Crystals coffin tips, which I don't think I still have any for sale, but yeah, I can check. But yeah, I wanted really, really long, so I did that. And I'm going in with Glitter Planet's clear acrylic nail mate system. I've even got a thumb. I've even done a thumb. So I'm applying the really thin layer just at the join line between the tip and the nail plate. And it's a really thin base because we're going to be using coloured acrylic and stuff like that. Okay, so this is the colour. It's Nail Mate Houdini. This is like silk. And it goes on beautifully. So it's a black acrylic, but it's got this almost like icy blue iridescence under the light. Oh, she's pretty. She's really pretty. So I've applied it and I'm obviously blending back. We don't want a harsh join line. Now you'll notice the texture of deeply pigmented acrylics is different, and this is why they're not strength powders. So you always need a clear base and you need a clear cap on top as well. You'll see that they're slightly stickier. They've got a lot of pigment in. That's normal. That's how it is. And a lot of people are kind of like afraid to work with black acrylic, but you just treat it the same as you do any coloured acrylic, pink, blue, orange, whatever. This is me in real time here, okay? So I'm quite slow. I'm quite kind of mindful with the movements that I have. And I make sure my ratio is okay with my beads so that it's not going to flood. That's the main thing. But the motion I'm using, it's kind of like gentle tapping and just getting that product where I need it. So I'm always kind of using the end third of my brush, the underneath, where the bristles are quite thin. It's like the feathery part of the brush, because then I don't need lots of pressure. I just need that gentle tap to get the product into place. I think I need a new brush. It's my fault. I got some acrylic in it and I didn't know, and it got sticky, and then I tried to get the acrylic out and I think I was a little bit rough with that. So then the bristles have gone a bit funny. So I've basically not looked after it very well. And I'm really sad because decent acrylic brushes are not cheap, guys, but they're really good. Okay. Nail Mate Goddess is the nude that I'm using. And that is a really soft nude with a gold shimmer. And I'm going to be doing a French nail. So I'm placing my first bead here. And then I'm going to start blending it back up. We don't want any sort of harsh lines when it starts to polymerize and set. And then I'm going to use my brush. I'm cleaning my brush the whole time. Also, I am really careful with my monomer because I'm using black acrylic. So I will regularly change out my monomer if it starts to discolour as well. And I'm using the side of my brush against the side of the acrylic smile line to kind of form that wall. And this one's real time. I will speed up some of the bits later on, but I want you to see everything I do is really gentle, because then it's kind of like you can go in again and you're not overdoing it. You can kind of fix it and tap it. And the more you do now, the less you've got to do with your nail file as well, which saves your hands and shoulders and neck. Again, I'm tapping the back of that bead down, and then I'm going to blend it into the first bead. And a lot of this is ratio, and I know that it's the time of year where, like, if your room's too cold, your acrylic's going to be a bit thinner. So you either make your room warmer or work slightly drier. And if you're unsure and you get into a pickle when you're doing things like this, just practice bead picking up. And kind of get a consistent feel for how your ratio works and if you need to make any adjustments. I always do the triple tap, which is just how I was trained. So into the monomer, release the monomer on the side of the dappen dish, 3 taps. And the way I control the size of the bead is the amount of monomer I release before picking up the acrylic powder. So if you want a bigger bead, you release less monomer. And I only work with a size 10 brush. I don't even have a bigger brush. I don't need one. Because my practice hand is quite small and my hands are really small. I don't do like lots of people's nails or anything because I've got a bit of arthritis. Oh, sorry. It's quite early, excuse me. So this bead was more just to level out the top. I noticed there was a slight dip, so I just wanted to level it out a little bit. And then I'm on to the next one, but I'm speeding this up. Can you imagine if we did work this fast? But it's the same thing. You can see what I'm doing. As that acrylic starts to set up and polymerize, it kind of becomes a bit like working with Play-Doh or clay, and you can get it right at the sweet spot and kind of mould it into place. Going in with the second bead, again, just push back and then blend forward. It's a lovely, lovely acrylic system to work with. Very, very nice. They do have Black Friday sale on. I don't know if you can use it in correspondence with my code to get a cheeky extra discount, but try it because you might get a bit more. I'll put my code in the description box and I'll pop it along the screen now. That's my discount code, and so that saves you 10%. Now, if you're watching this after Black Friday, use my code, and if you're watching it during a sale event, try it. You might get an extra 10%. I don't know if they code combo or not. So the thumb's going to be another all black nail with Houdini. You can probably see the it looks like a starry sky. That's the kind of little hues of little flecks in there of this kind of beautiful, almost like bluish tone, but it's not so intense that I can't describe it. It's just like the most sparkly, pretty black acrylic. Same thing again, we're working really carefully. Obviously I've sped it up, but really carefully, using the very tippy tip of my brush there. And almost painting it. You don't build strength with a highly pigmented acrylic. You need the strength to come from your clear acrylic. So all we're doing here is building pigment. And if it's a good system, you really don't need a lot. Okay, so this nail is going to be all nude using Goddess. So I've sped that up because it's just a full nail coverage. But I wanted you to see, because I use a smaller brush, obviously I work in more beads. I'm not fussed about one bead coverage. It's nice when you get that. It's like a little bit of a woohoo moment, but that's not going to happen on a nail this length because it's just too long. And if I used a bigger brush, because the nails are still quite narrow and the nail plate itself is not particularly wide, I would have a huge risk of flooding. I'd have to turn my brush sideways instead of forwards, and for me that's just not comfortable. I'd rather work with more beads. But it's personal preference. Some people love rocking a size 20 brush. I'm like, dude! But it depends on the size of the nails you're working on as well. I would always recommend having, if you're new to nails, I would always recommend having like an 8 and a 10, because the smaller your brush is, it's just a bit easier to control when you're newer. And, you know, a lot of people use a 12 and 14. So it's good to have a selection of brushes. I just know after all the years, I will only ever reach for this one. So that's all I have. But I do need a spare one because I am convinced I've slightly messed up the bristles. It just feels different, and that's my own fault. I should know. I've been doing this a long ass time. But we all make mistakes. So I'm not going to build my entire structure using the nude acrylic. I am going to cap in clear. And this is something that I saw Zule Nails do. for 2 reasons. She said, one, it saves her nude powders if she's running low, and 2, it adds that strength and structure. So yeah, now I'm capping the pinky. Did you see that I wiped over it quickly with monomer? When you're working with really deeply pigmented nails, the last thing you want is something called frosting. And that's where the nail is dry, potentially a bit dusty. You put a bead down that maybe is a little bit dry, and it kind of crystallizes, goes a bit frosty. So here, by wiping the nail with the monomer on your brush, then going in with your correct ratio of bead, the two kind of merge together nicely and attach beautifully without these gaps that causes the frosting. Just gives you a really good end result. Again, I'm working a little bit wet on this, mainly because I'd put the heating on and it was starting to warm up. And when I was doing the nude full nail, I felt a shift in the speed of polymerization. I could feel it starting to set up a bit quickly. So although this is this to me, this bead I'm working on now is like, yeah, happy place ratio bead, because it's staying where it's put, but it's not so dry that it's not moving. Like, it's staying where it's put, it's not bleeding out, you're not catching it, it's not rolling everywhere because it's too wet, but also it's not too dry, it's still completely workable. So obviously I'm capping the nude now, which is weird. It felt weird because I don't normally do that, but I'm running low on Goddess, so I was like, yeah, I'll cap it in clear. I need to get some more of that. I like my most used Goddess and Perfect Pink and Toasted Rose have always been my 3 faves. I'm so sorry I keep yawning, that's very unprofessional, but you've got me in a raw state, sat in bed at 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so I've capped the thumb as well. There you go, you can see. It's looking good. We're going to file in that smile line. I'm using the 180 grit side of my file. It's quite difficult on a practice hand because it doesn't feel the same. You almost need somebody who's a bit rigid. But I'm going to take that and push it up against the wall like a carpenter making a cabinet. And I'm taking it up, pulling the skin back with my thumb. So you see the nail folds at the side? Because we wouldn't want to file that on a person, so we still practice the same way on a practice hand, right? And I know these kind of practice hands are very expensive. I'm fully aware. And mine was an investment for content creation. They are very, very good for practicing, but you can get cheaper versions. I don't know if... Glitter Planet used to stock the flexi hand, and that was the first one I had, and it was amazing. And you can get the individual fingers as well. They're really, really good. So if they still stock those, have a look, because they are a much more affordable alternative, and they're really good. And they stand up, I've still got some in my drawer, and I used to give them to my students as well, like in the individual fingers here and there for them to practice on. Right, so I've filed in both the smile lines. I've gone in on the ring finger and done my smile line, but I'm going to show you this one. So I've used quite a big bead, not too wet, not too dry, because I want to kind of mould it up into the wings of that smile line. It doesn't matter if it goes over onto the nude acrylic. That's kind of ideal because we want it so close that they are knitted together, that they are completely one. There was a step that I missed out on this, and it was intentional because I was short on time and I was like, I've got to get this done. On a person, I would always, once I've filed in, I would always cap my French nails if they're not pink and white. Well, actually, even if they are pink and white, I think I still do it out of habit. I would always cap them in clear for strength, structure, protecting my coloured acrylic, but I just kind of went with it on this because it's not a real person. She's not going to be doing the dishes in these nails, and I was in a rush. However, this is how I'm building up that opacity. with the colour and making sure there is not a micromillimetre between the nude acrylic and the black acrylic. We want the two to be melted together to form a crisp, beautiful smile line. There is something so freaking gorgeous about a black French nail. I don't know if it's the contrasting colour, but if you do it right, it just looks so beautiful. So beautiful. Just going to add some more at the tip there. Again, building up that opacity, and because I'm not capping, just to build up the thickness. I wish I had done it capped actually, because I'm running low on Houdini. So I used a bit too much. Okay, so I'm actually using the 100 grit side of my file for this bit, because I'm debulking by hand. I don't use an e-file for debulking generally. Don't know why. I wish I did, because the next day my thumb was swollen like a troll's hand. Because my right thumb's got arthritis, and it was so swollen. I have an exclusive product to show you in this as well, and yeah, there's some exciting stuff coming up, guys. We're so close. I'm probably days away from telling you here. I'm just waiting for the okay to tell you, and I am so freaking excited. It's going to blow your minds. You are going to be excited for me. You are going to be like, Sarah, oh my god, oh. So, eek. Okay. Anyway, as you can see, I'm filing in. Look, isn't it satisfying when your smile line comes through? It peeps through and it goes, hi, I'm here just to let you know you did do the right thing. It's that tense moment when your client's looking at you like, what have you done to my nail, lady? What's going on here? And you're like, it's okay, babes. I am a magic nail fairy. Check this out. Bish, bash, bosh. Hello. They're all filed in. I'm using Nailmate's Super Gloss, which is their no wipe top coat, on this middle finger. In person, at this point, you can see all the gold sparkles come through on the acrylic, and it's like, oh. And the reason I'm top coating this nail first is because we're going to do some 3D work. Also, before I forget, the reason I capped all the other nails before filing in the smile line and doing the 2 French nails is because of the dust from the filing. So you want to protect the rest of your design before you file in your smile line or anything like that. It seems arse backwards, but it's to protect the design. So I've cured the top coat on this nail. I'm going in with Houdini. I also need another 3D brush. This one is shot. The point's gone on it, so it's really difficult. But I've had it like, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years, something like that. I'm going in with the Houdini acrylic, and I am making some flowers. I'm just going with the flow with it, really. I was going to speed this part up because it's quite a long video. And I did a poll on Instagram, and the result was, no, don't speed it up. Keep it as it is. And I guess that gives me more time to talk to you about what I'm doing. I have clipped the in-between parts where you're sat just like endlessly waiting for the acrylic to polymerize so that you can press it out. There is a hack for that. You can add a little bit of acetone to your monomer. So I put the bead down. I wait for it to start to mattify. And then I press it out, and I'm putting the point of my brush in the center and then just pressing down. And what happens is the bristles kind of start to imprint into the acrylic as well. So you get that texture. And if you don't want texture, just work with your brush slightly differently and you'll get the rounded look. You just don't press them out as much. They're kind of more like chunky and like, how to describe it, like rounded, almost like cartoony flowers. So you can achieve that as well. If you want, I'll do a video on different types of kind of techniques. If that would be helpful, let me know in the comments. And if there's ever anything you're like, how do you do this? Ask. If I know, I'll do a demo. And now I was being cocky and working on 2 flowers at the same time because I was getting bored. So I got very short attention span. But we're pressing out. You can do this on a matte top coat. I've done it on a matte top coat and it works all right. But on a shiny top coat, it's a lot easier to scrape it off if you bugger it up. Which I did at the very end. I put one down and I was like, don't like it. Whoop, off it comes. I've also got a mould that I got from Glitter Planet, which you can actually make 3D roses in the mould. And I haven't used it yet. And maybe I should do that. And like, it's all different sizes. That would be quite cool. Okay, so making the croissant shape. Some of these flowers I made a bit of a funny shape. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was just like, I don't know. I don't want them to be perfect because things in nature have variations anyway. So there's no kind of perfection. And I was really happy with how the nail turned out. This is my favourite nail. Oh, I don't know actually. Maybe the French. I don't know. Now, as you can see, we're keeping it flat. It's pretty flat there. And I wanted the acrylic slightly thinner. I don't mind if there's a bit of the nude nail underneath peeking through some of the petals of the flower. It gives that reality, that kind of three-dimensional look. So that's all good. And I decided, because I kind of wanted quite a lot of floral activity on the nail, so I decided that in the smaller gaps it might be a good idea to just do little black leaves, because this is all about Black Friday, right? So that's why I haven't used any other colours. The focus is on this. And to be fair, this Houdini acrylic is chef's kiss, desirable, wonderful, gorgeous. So, and I don't use it enough. I would have black nails every day, but you guys would be like, Sarah, are you going to do anything different? And I'd be like, I don't know. Oh, there's the end of my brush. Lovely shot. So you can see, like, I'm just building up as I go in. Like, you'll get a feel for making slightly smaller beads. And if you're unsure about the size of the bead you're putting down, just don't put it down and start again. You don't have to. You can sacrifice the bead to the kitchen towel on the side and just be like, okay, I'm sorry it just didn't work out, but I've found another bead and I'm going to give that one a go. It really doesn't matter. And you can do bigger flowers and smaller flowers, and like, I would hate to try and have to get them all the same size. That would drive me nuts. I just went with the flow. Bigger ones somewhere, smaller ones somewhere else. Doesn't really matter. This is the bit, right, so the centre of the flower, the final bead I put down, I'm creating like a little donut because I'm going to pop a crystal in there. That's the reason for that. You don't have to do that. That's what I'm choosing to do. Some people spiral the acrylic into the centre, which looks really beautiful. But I want a little crystal in there because, hello, bling, hi. Oh my God, it's my birthday soon. It's my birthday on Monday, 1st of December. So if you're watching this in September, it won't matter. It's not my birthday on Monday then, is it? No, 1st of December. So, and my daughter's coming down next weekend. So we're going to put our Christmas tree up. Woohoo! Because she's working very, very, very hard doing important grown-up things. So, yes. And she's home for Christmas this year. Yay! So excited. Okay, so I'm continuing to build this flower. This one is going right up to the one above it. And that doesn't matter as well, because that happens in nature, right? They cluster. They have a little bit of space here, less space there. I'd love to actually make some 3D bows out of acrylic. Or actually, I've got the carving gel as well. And I've now got the elastic gel. I haven't tried that yet. Guys, I have ideas. My brain is like brimming with ideas here. So, Christmas nails are on their way. OVS. I'm so excited. I need to book Abby in for her nails, actually. I mean, she's not like a customer, like a paying customer. I just need to make an appointment with her when she's not working and I'm not working, and then we can film a nail design, because I know she's desperate for Christmas nails. And bloop in the middle there, and then I'll add a couple of petals here and there, and it just starts to build the nail up a little bit. So I'm just, again, same technique. What I do differently on the leaves is I go in with my brush sideways and kind of slice it down the middle. Now, you have to wait a little bit longer, I think, for the leaves to polymerize a little bit more before pressing them out. Unless you're working on a matte top coat, then it's a bit more grippy. But what I found was if I went in too soon, then the acrylic would sort of like spread too much. And I want the leaves a slightly different consistency and kind of thickness. So it can over kind of work quite easily. So that one I was like, oh, it's a bit too wide, I don't really like it. So I actually went in, once that particular petal, that particular leaf was set, I went in and added another one off the side of it, so it looked like two layered together, crossing over. So I just wasn't happy with it. Oh, you can just stick a crystal there, you know, it's not a big deal. It's all personal preference, or you can just look at it and go, meh, it's okay. Thinking of doing some more colour blocking as well. I know colour blocking is time consuming and drives a lot of people mad, but it is a really cool skill. And if you do that, your clients, like, their mind is blown. And not all of us like freehand painting. I know I don't. I like acrylic work. So I do feel some colour blocking coming on. Let's bring it back. Bring back the colour block. Bring back Sharpie nails. Yeah. Love Sharpie designs. Do you remember when we all went nuts and just bought loads of coloured Sharpie pens to do nail art? That was the thing, right? That was a thing. Do you remember water marbling with nail varnish? That was the thing. Okay, here's the thing. I want you to put in the comments one kind of like older nail style or technique that you would love to see me do again. Like, just see if we can rebirth it. Maybe we could restart a trend. Oh my God, can you imagine? Oh, how cool would that be? Yeah, let me know if there's anything you can think of. I've got loads. My brain's full of them. I've been doing this for 13 years. Is it 14, 13? I don't know. There we are. Look at that. She's so pretty. Okay, this has not been released yet. It will be, as will some other things and an announcement. So I'm not going to tell you what this is yet. But yes, that is a black iridescent pearl. But just calm yourself. I know you're excited. Not quite released yet. I will put a notice on my community page and on my Instagram and on my Facebook when I announce it. Like, it will be I would have thought by the end of November 2025, if you're watching this in the future. So we're very close, very, very close, because it's the 27th today. But I will explain everything. It's super exciting, and I don't even think you're going to guess it. I genuinely don't think, if I asked you to guess, I don't think you'd know, like what I'm going to announce. That's how excited I am. Okay, so now I've done my crystal work. I'm going to go in with the Nailmate Super Gloss top coat. Before I do this, I remove the dust from my desk. I wipe down, because the last thing you want, right, and I've done this countless times because my brain's so fast that I'm 10 steps ahead and I'm like not sitting back and observing. So you do your top coat and you go to take photographs and there's like friggin' dust squished in it. It's, oh my God. And I do flash cure using my Jelly Flex lamp, just because I want to take my time doing the top coat and I don't want anything moving and flooding into the sidewalls and the nail folds. So look how beautiful that Houdini acrylic is. Oh my God. Oh, so pretty. These would be good for New Year's Eve, wouldn't they? New Year's Eve nails. Gorgeous. I'm going to use a detailer brush in and around the crystals because you don't want them coming off. But how stunning are these crystals? Jet black crystals, black iridescent pearls. There's gold crystals in there as well. Guys, you're going to be so excited. Oh my God, just have your wallets ready, all right? Because this stuff is limited and this stuff is going to be amazing. And the announcement is going to make your brain explode out of the side of your head. So excited. Okay, I'm holding it in. Again, going around the crystals, seal them all in place. Don't need to top coat the middle finger. That's already been top coated. And I want the contrast between the gloss background and the matte flowers, and then the twinkly crystals within the matte flowers. Make sense? Ooh, so swooshy. Can you see that shimmer coming through? Isn't it beautiful? You've got that black nail with just that, you know, like sometimes you see like a magpie or something and you're like, oh, is that a hint of blue under that black? It's not quite as bright as that. It's very, very subtle. So you could look at it and think it's just a pure black acrylic. But if you look at it, if you really look at it, there's this stunning shimmer. I decided to use my detailer brush to top coat around the cuticle area because it's quite a large area and I just felt like it would be easier. So obviously I did a full cure for 60 seconds on these nails. I then wrestled with my practice hand to put a coat on it. Don't even ask. And I'll show you the final. Please, if this video has been useful, consider subscribing. Leave me a comment. I'd love to know your feedback. Don't forget, what nail trend are we going to bring back? Let me know in the comments. And I will see you in my next video with a very exciting announcement. So, until then, tally bye!